Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Slammy Awards for 2014 in No Limits Wrestling. It is finally here, and this year there have been so many votes, and I've got to thank you for that, because I had loads of votes. I had around 200 votes, and that is just immense. It took me ages to calculate. I tried my best to tally up the votes as best I could, and I hope that I've tallied it up correctly. There were some issues, since some of the matches I didn't know which one you were referring to, but I've taken some of that into account and I've tried to tally up the votes as best I can, and here are your Slammy Awards. Now, another thing to note, apart from the 3 categories that I asked you to vote for, there was also which wrestler you would like to see in NLW. That was also difficult. I got so many responses. Some of the wrestlers that were voted for I tried looking for online and I couldn't find, but the person with the most votes I was able to find, and I have got them, and the person that you voted for to be in NLW will debut sometime in February, and it's going to be revealed then as well. Now, going back to the Slammy Awards, there were 3 categories that you were asked to vote for. They were Moment of the Year, Superstar of the Year, and Match of the Year. In this Slammy Awards episode, we're going to look at the top 3 from each category and rewatch some of the best moments and matches from this year. Bearing in mind it's the top 3 from each category, we're going to start off with Superstar of the Year. There have been many great superstars debut and continue to kick ass here in NLW, and you have voted for which one is your favourite. And coming in at number 3 for your Superstar of the Year is, quote the Raven, Nevermore. That is right, you have voted for as your number 3 in Superstar of the Year. Going in 3rd place, it is Raven. Many people have voted for him. He has been a dark horse throughout the year, but over the past few months he has shown his true colours and has shown why he is one of the best wrestlers in NLW. Debuting last November in the Royal Rumble, he had a bit of a shaky start, but with 3 hardcore title reigns this year alone, it's easy to see why he has won 3rd place as Superstar of the Year. Now, we know him for his great matches over this past year with John Cena over the hardcore title. They faced off at Destruction, they faced off in an I Quit match at Over the Limit, and that spanned throughout the year. Raven also won a huge matchup in a triple threat match at WrestleMania against Kevin Nash and The Big Show, winning the hardcore title. But right now, we're going to look back at your number 3 Superstar of the Year in action, Raven, when he won his first ever hardcore title against Hardcore Harley way back in January at Retribution. Get away, trying to hide under the ring perhaps, but it's not to no avail. But there's a fire extinguisher right into the eyes of Hardcore, and another shot with that trash can lid. They are completely dominating right now. They're really brutal shots, and as they go out of the arena, Raven leaving his jacket. It might be pretty cold there, out there tonight, not only in the backstage but also outside. Here in the middle of January, February, winter time. And now, trash can lid shots once again as they're in the backstage area. Raven in trouble. Oh, wait a minute, now he is definitely sent off the barricade. And he's on the floor at the moment, trying to pick himself up off the backstage flooring, and that's not designed to be used as a weapon, I'll tell you that. The trash can off the head of Hardcore. But now, what's he planning on doing? What a drop kick to the face. He had that trash can held straight in front of his face, but it was kicked out of his hands. Almost got the 3 there, but to no avail, and they're going to another part of the arena now. Again, falls count anywhere. The only way to win is by pinfall or submission anywhere in the building, and what a walloping shot. Was that a speed sign off the back of Raven, but a shot by Raven. Raven has got to watch out for Hardcore Harley, because he can be a brutal human being. Not very refreshing there. Head bounced off of the Pepsi machine. And there is the exit. And you don't think they want to go out here. Raven driven through that door by Hardcore Harley. Raven speared right outside. And it looks like we're in the parking lot, is it? Or outside, is it snowing? It very well may be. But Hardcore Harley now sees that truck. Hardcore Harley sees that van parked outside, and maybe he's having a change of heart. Maybe don't want to hurt him this badly, maybe. Well, I was wrong. Flung straight into that truck by Hardcore Harley, and he was literally just head bouncing off the truck, and yet again, Raven in trouble. He's being, oh my god, he's being put on top of that van, right on top of that vehicle, and this is a very dangerous situation right now for both involved. What the hell is Hardcore Harley thinking right now? Very dangerous, very volatile, but what is he planning? Oh, wait a minute, Raven reverses, and the Raven effect straight on top of that vehicle. What a flipping move out of nowhere, and he's won. Raven is the new NLW Hardcore Champion. My god. Raven, when it looked like he was taking a pretty significant damage, the Raven effect reversal and straight on top of that van, no give whatsoever, and thus Raven has become the new Hardcore Champion. And that would prove to only be the first of 3 title reigns for Hardcore for Raven this year. Now moving on from Raven, our number 3 Superstar of the Year, we go on to our number 3 Moment of the Year. There have been many great moments this year in NLW. Many great moments include many of the debuts and the new superstars that have entered NLW this year. One of the debuts that sticks in the mind of many NLW fans is your number 3 Moment of the Year, and that is Sting's return for Retribution. This is what you voted for to be your number 3 Moment of the Year, Sting's debut at Retribution. In fact, it wasn't even his debut. He debuted at the Royal Rumble in November 2013 and was the 3rd place in the Royal Rumble match until he was eliminated by none other than The Undertaker. Triple H, of course, went on to win the Royal Rumble. However, Sting took his frustrations out on The Undertaker during the matchup. He'd already been eliminated, pulling Undertaker out of the ring and slamming him into the steel steps. From that moment on, we knew that wasn't the last we were going to see of Sting, and we were right. And this is the moment, your Moment of the Year, number 3. In 3rd place, it is Sting returning at Retribution when he appeared at the conclusion of the matchup between Triple H and The Undertaker. We're going to see a pedigree onto the steel chair. This has got to be it. Here's the cover. But a kick out by The Undertaker at 2 7/8. If a pedigree onto a steel chair can't do it, what will? Triple H gonna try and go for it again. Are we gonna see a 3rd pedigree right now? But followed by the throat. And Undertaker now drags him away. And he's got him up. Oh, look at this. The Tombstone Pile Driver. Undertaker Pile Drivers him, and oh, wait a minute. Oh, the lights have gone out, and oh, what the hell was that? I just saw a figure run into the ring and attack The Undertaker, and there you see, the lights went out. And I don't know what the hell that was about. The Undertaker, as the lights have been restored in the arena, just completely decimated, it would seem. I saw a figure run into the ring. I didn't know exactly who it was, but seems as though The Undertaker's out, and oh no, Triple H going to take advantage of this. Undertaker seems unconscious. And there is the pedigree to The Undertaker. Here is the cover. And the win from Triple H. Amid controversial circumstances, the game Triple H has won this match. Triple H has his hand raised as the victor. But you gotta wonder what the hell that guy was attacking The Undertaker. I mean, we didn't see it, the lights went out. But The Undertaker has lost, and Triple H has won. Stunted. And the game has continued his momentum on the road to WrestleMania by defeating The Undertaker. Oh, wait a minute, the lights have gone out again. The lights have gone out again and again. A man has entered the ring, and who is it? Who the hell's attacked The Undertaker? Oh my god. Well, there's your answer. I said at the Rumble, it wouldn't be the last you saw of Sting. And right there, in black and red, he is. Sting after attacking the Undertaker at the Rumble, has once again... Oh, and there you go. And that was merely the beginning of the rivalry, one of the greatest rivalries in NLW history that continues to this day and has produced some of the best matches in NLW history. The Sting and Undertaker rivalry, truly one to behold. And another rivalry that is truly one to behold is on display in our number 3 match of the year. Now this is where we stage the top 3 matches of NLW this year. Last year, third place of match of the year went to D-Generation X going up against The Undertaker and John Cena. What will it be this year? Let's find out. Your number 3 match of the year is 3 Stages of Hell for the Intercontinental title, Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit. And this is another rivalry that started at the Royal Rumble in 2013 and has continued to this day. They squared off as number 1 and number 2 in the Royal Rumble, and that led them on to have a match on episode 13. They clashed in the War Games cage. They clashed on episode 17 as well, heading into WrestleMania. They were also clashing at WrestleMania in that triple threat matchup. They then went on, had a match at Destruction, a submission match, which Jericho won, controversially, and now after trading the Intercontinental title throughout the year, they came to a head for the final time at Over the Limit, and this was the match to end the series. In this particular 3 Stages of Hell match a few weeks ago, it was Fall 1, a Submissions Count Anywhere match. That was the match that Benoit won, and then the second fall, Chris Jericho won, and that was a tables match, which leads us in to the final and third fall, the ladder match, which was as barbaric and brutal as we were expecting, and this is what the result of that matchup was. Your number 3 match of the year. He's probably busted a couple more ribs, certainly, but was Jericho on the ladder, but Benoit back up and still managing to get into it and pushing Chris Jericho off of the ladder. Such high risk. These two men have already been through 2 falls. They're exhausted, but they're still putting it all on the line, all in the name of the Intercontinental title. Chris Benoit, he's got no one around him, but now he sees Jericho on the floor, and look at this. Oh my God. He is in dangerous straits. Such high risk. He's hanging from the ladder, and he's hanging from the title belt. Jericho! Jeez! Codebreaker from the top of the rafters. He must have fell 20 feet. How the hell are they going to get up from that? That Intercontinental title does crazy things to people. They'll do anything to win with it. You see the height he got with that codebreaker, jumping off of the... Oh, and again the ribs to the stomach of Chris Benoit. Those ribs have already been taped up, and this match is proving to be brutal. He's climbing up, but he sees him down and jumps down, but he gets caught out. Crossface. He's got it wrenched in, and he can tap all he likes. It's not going to help his situation, but then again, Chris Jericho hitting Benoit off the ladder. He's certainly confident, and that much is clear. These two are tied 1 fall apiece, but it's Benoit on the back foot and the receiving end of the punishment at the moment. What an incredible opener, and now they're both on the top of the ladder again. Benoit and Jericho pulling out all the stops, but Benoit now, huge elbow, and there's a drop down. He dropped down from the top of that ladder, and that was a pretty decent height, if I'm honest with you. And what the hell is Benoit thinking? The title's not going to be there. The title's not in your reach there, Benoit. Don't do this. Oh! How the hell? The feats that these guys are putting on for us, it astounds me. The diving headbutt from the top of the ladder, and that may have put Chris Jericho away for good. There have been so many replays in this matchup, so many high spots, and that was an unbelievable one. I cannot believe my eyes. Jericho's down and out on the outside. Benoit's all alone in the ring. All he has to do is climb the ladder, and he's won this. Chris Benoit, he knows there's no one around him. But Jericho's back in with that steel chair shot off the legs. Chris Benoit thought he was all alone, but no, oh my god, Jericho, Jesus! Check on him, for God's sake! Through 2 tables and Jericho's all alone in the ring. Jericho's all alone, and he's taken down the title, and he's retained the Intercontinental Championship. My God. Check on him.
Get the EMTs, get them now, go down.
They put their bodies on the line for your entertainment, and it was a spectacular contest to end the series at Over the Limit. Jericho is still our Intercontinental Champion, but what will the future hold for Chris Benoit? We will find out. Nevertheless, up next we are going to reveal the number 2 placed entries as our Moment of the Year, Superstar of the Year and Match of the Year, beginning with our number 2 second place Superstar of the Year. We've already seen Raven won number 3, your third place Superstar of the Year, but who finished second? Last year John Cena and Shawn Michaels came third and second respectively, but who is going to be second this year? Your second place for Superstar of the Year is the Wrestling Machine, Kurt Angle. That is right, Kurt Angle is the man who you voted as second runner-up in Superstar of the Year. So close, but just a little bit too far for Kurt Angle this year. Possibly next year he will be Superstar of the Year. Who knows? We'll wait until 2015, but what a year that Kurt Angle has had. His first year in NLW, and he hasn't even been pinned yet. He's not even been submitted. Kurt Angle has not been pinned or submitted this year in NLW. He's had some incredible contests this year against the likes of Kevin Nash, The Big Show, John Cena at WrestleMania, Mr. Anderson at Destruction, CM Punk, and most recently AJ Styles at Over the Limit. Can he continue his unbeaten streak in 2015, or is somebody going to dethrone him finally? We will find out. But this entire unbeaten run of Kurt Angle and this entire career in NLW of Kurt Angle began all the way back in March-February time when he appeared at the conclusion of the matchup between John Cena and Shawn Michaels for the world title inside a steel cage. This is the moment where John Cena asked to shake the hand of Shawn Michaels following their cage match, but he got a mega surprise, as did we. He must be gutted, and you gotta wonder what's going through the mind of John Cena right now. He's got the microphone in hand. What's he got to say?
All kidding aside, I just want 1 second to publicly acknowledge that was the better man, and I would really like to congratulate him on his victory.
Well, a great show of sportsmanship by Cena. Wants Shawn Michaels to come out right now. But is HBK going to come out, or is he going to make Cena wait? Cena, what's going to happen? Well, it looks as if this has taken a turn for the worse. And there he is. The Olympic gold medalist is in No Limits Wrestling. Kurt Angle has made his debut. None of us ever expected this. But he's here to confront John Cena. It would appear that way. Cena wanting to congratulate Shawn Michaels, but instead, the Olympic gold medalist comes out instead. Kurt Angle is in the NLW arena. And what a turn of events this is. 2 combustible elements and, well, there you see, sign of sportsmanship there from Angle, handshake and Cena, but oh my, the Angle slam. Kurt Angle making his presence felt, and John Cena has been warned. Not going to be his night. Following a loss in the steel cage, John Cena suffers at the hands of the Angle slam. Kurt Angle debuting on episode 16 and successfully went on to defeat John Cena at WrestleMania and continue his unbeaten run to this date. Now, moving on to our moment of the year for second place. In fact, not only is it our moment of the year in second place, this is also part of our second place in match of the year. If you haven't guessed already, here it is. Your number 2 moment of the year took place in our number 2 match of the year. And the second place for match of the year was last year Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho in a ladder match at Uprising, and this year it was another fantastic contest. Your number 2 match of the year is Sting versus The Undertaker in a last man standing match at Destruction. And also that means that your number 2 moment of the year was the conclusion of this matchup, where Sting speared The Undertaker off of the top of the Titantron to the arena floor. It was a spectacular sight to behold, and it's no wonder why it's second place for your moment of the year. It's hard to top, but we're going to show you the conclusion of this matchup between Sting and The Undertaker. Undertaker had already defeated Sting at WrestleMania, and this was the second match in the series at Destruction. Who would be the last man standing between Sting and The Undertaker? Your moment and match, second place of this year. I can't believe the tombstone on the table. The table didn't even break. Could have broken his neck there, and there's a spear by Sting. Sting doing everything he can to put away the dead man. But nothing seems to be working at the moment. There's a spinebuster again. But Sting is down again. And look at him marking Undertaker. But again he's back up. And you cannot fault. Look at this. Chokeslam. You can't fault the way in which Undertaker, his resiliency is second to none. Blood flowing from his skull. Going for the tombstone. And he does. But reversed. And now Sting. Scorpion death drop on the chair.
1.
Referee counting him out again.
2.
Sting
3.
may have put the final nail in the
4.
coffin.
5.
But Undertaker still manages to stir.
6.
I don't know how. I don't know why.
8.
At 8, but he's back up to a huge crowd response. But Sting again with that chair. He wants to inflict more damage. And oh god. Do you see the way his head jarred with that chair shot off the skull? Right to the head. Sting marking The Undertaker again. And he wants to send a message. Tombstone perhaps, but reverse. Undertaker reverses, and there's a tombstone on the chair.
1.
This may be it.
2.
Taker certainly thinks so.
3.
He's only just about on his feet.
5.
Referee halfway there on his
6.
count. Sting
7.
jarring, trying to get up.
8.
Will he make it?
9.
And just about. Using the ropes for leverage at 9. 9 and a half, 9 and 3/4. Sting makes it up, but there's a boot to Sting that sends him outside. He got up after the tombstone on a chair. What more does Undertaker have to do? What more does Sting have to do? Blocks that, sends him away, and now, nightstick shot. The nightstick shot by Sting. And now the Undertaker is in a world of pain. Could have definitely knocked some lights out, knocked some brain cells there. Sting is placing him on that table again, looking to break it indefinitely. Undertaker, his blood is dripping off onto the floor here on our announce table. And Sting climbing the set. We've seen it done earlier tonight. It didn't end well for him. But will it work for Sting? Taker following him. But Sting managing to get out of harm's way, and they are really high up there. That stage is pretty humongous, and look there, on the Titantron. They look down, and this is a grave dangerous situation, but Sting catches him out. Oh my god, oh my god!
1. 2.
They fell!
3.
Humongous
4.
feet, and
5.
both men
6.
down and out. The referee at 7.
8.
Sting gonna make it to his
9.
feet. Oh, and he
10.
collapses. The referee made it to 10, and you hear the crowd response to that, the boos, because Sting almost had this won, but He collapsed. I don't blame him, quite frankly. I mean, I couldn't survive a fall from that fight. Sting and The Undertaker are laid out flat. The referee counting out both men to 10. Looked as if Sting was going to win it, but instead the fact that they were both able to walk the next day just shows how tough that these NLW wrestlers are and how much they will go through to get to the promised land. That was our number 2 moment and match of the year, and now that leads to first place for all of our categories. Who will be number 1 for moment of the year? Who will be number 1 for superstar of the year? And which wrestling matchup have you voted for to be the best match of 2014 in NLW? We're going to kick it off now with your number 1, your superstar of the year for 2014. There have been many great superstars debut, return and compete in this ring in NLW this year. Some include Shawn Michaels, John Cena, The Undertaker, last year's superstar of the year, CM Punk, Chris Jericho, Randy Orton and many more, but there is only one man who you voted for to be your superstar of the year, and if you haven't guessed it, here it is. This is your superstar of the year 2014, and it is the Icon Sting. Since debuting at the Royal Rumble and returning at Retribution earlier this year, Sting has produced so many memorable moments and competed in various memorable matches. He is one of the greatest in our sport and has been one of the greatest superstars in NLW history. Last year, The Undertaker was your superstar of the year, and this year, you have picked his rival, Sting, to be your superstar of the year. He has had one hell of a year, but has suffered a few hiccups. After returning at Retribution, he did, unfortunately, lose to The Undertaker at WrestleMania, but he did attempt to bounce back, as you saw in that last man standing matchup, and this past week at Over the Limit, he came so close to winning the World Heavyweight Championship, but it was snatched away at the last second by Triple H. Will Sting win the world title in the new year? Only he knows, but we're about to see your superstar of the year, Sting, in action when he took part in the match of his life at WrestleMania. This was the matchup of the decade, the match of the century, the matchup that everybody was talking about, and it happened this past year at WrestleMania. It was The Undertaker going one-on-one with your new superstar of the year, Sting. Now Undertaker gonna go for more higher risk. He's ascending the turnbuckle, and I don't know how wise this is. Sting is prone but moves out of the way. That did not pay off for Undertaker whatsoever. Trying to get up, and you see Undertaker is on the floor trying to move, and drag back down, but Sting now holding his head, but not anymore. The effects of the tombstone wearing off momentarily, but still Undertaker's the one in more trouble at the moment. He is in the Scorpion Deathlock, the sharpshooter applied by Sting, and you see him sit back on it. If Undertaker can't make it to the ropes at this point, he is done for. Can Taker make it? And he does, but only just. The pressure on his back may have been just too much to handle, but only time will tell. And now Gormai has him followed by the throat and a chokeslam to Sting. Again, the Undertaker now knows he's in control. Undertaker wants to go for the tombstone pile driver. He has him up. Are we going to see a tombstone here? It looks that way. Oh good God, Sting reverses. Tombstone. Tombstone by Sting. Can you believe it? Undertaker almost got put away by his own finishing maneuver, but Sting immediately back up, and the Scorpion Death drop by Sting. Undertaker down and out now again, but another kick out by the dead man. Look at the face of Sting, he doesn't know what to make of it. He has no idea how he's going to win this. He's pounding the mat in frustration. Oh my, and now look at this, Hell's Gate by Undertaker. Undertaker has the Hell's Gate, can he tap? But now roll through again by Sting, and Undertaker kicks out. Undertaker has kicked out of everything that Sting had to offer, but what's he? Oh my God. Well, this isn't no disqualification. Sting uses that, he's getting disqualified. He's got the baton in the ring, the nightstick, but he's followed by the float. His plan backfired. And oh my god, he's up. And now this is over. Tombstone by a dead man. Here's the cover. And the kick out by Sting. You've got to be kidding me. I've never seen anybody in No Limits Wrestling kick out of a tombstone before. What more does he have to do? And Sting marking the Undertaker and his pose, but followed by the throat. And Undertaker's pissed off, he's had enough. And again has him up with the tombstone and jumps with it. The leaping tombstone. Here's the cover and he wins it. The Undertaker has won this matchup. This historic matchup that concludes with a jumping tombstone. And here is your winner, The Undertaker. The Icon was almost too much to handle, but in the end, it was the dead man who came out with the victory. What a WrestleMania matchup that was. Despite some shady tactics in the earlier part of 2014, Sting has turned a corner and taken a new leaf in his book and is turned around from becoming a hated villain to a huge fan favourite, and that just goes to show you the power of fan support, because recently he has been on a roll. Now moving on, this is the final portion of the show, and I know what you're thinking, we've still got 2 categories left, but they are going to be merged right now. There have been many great moments this year, and there have also been many great matches. In a minute we're going to tell you what your number 1 for moment of the year and match of the year was, but this year there have been many great moments and matches. Many great moments include the retiring of Batista by Randy Orton, the debut of Kurt Angle, AJ Styles winning Money in the Bank, and so much more. And there have also been many equally fantastic matches, including Shawn Michaels against Triple H at WrestleMania, as you've seen, Sting vs The Undertaker at WrestleMania, Orton vs Batista in that street fight, Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, the I Quit match between Raven and Cena, the War Games matchup at Retribution, the Extreme Rules match for the world title where Shawn Michaels won the title finally from John Cena, even as recently as Styles vs Kurt Angle, which was a wrestling classic. But there is one match that you voted for unanimously to be match of the year, and it was a landslide. I'm not even kidding. It was easy to see from the start of the voting which match was going to be your match of the year and your moment and match of the year for 2014 was Hell in a Cell between Shawn Michaels and Triple H for the world title. Now, you may be wondering that's only the match, but you probably also know that many of you voted for the moment of the year to be Shawn Michaels falling off the top of the cage, and that was, I have to admit, an incredible sight. Your moment of the year for 2014 was Shawn Michaels falling off the top of the Hell in a Cell, and your match of the year was Hell in a Cell for the World Heavyweight Championship. Earlier this year, D-Generation X split up in humongous fashion where Triple H kicked Shawn Michaels in the stomach and pedigreed him, symbolising that he wanted the world title from Shawn Michaels, and he was successful at that. Triple H won the world title from Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania and then proceeded in the next coming weeks to attempt to get into the mind of Shawn Michaels, but Shawn Michaels tried his best to block it out and focus on the world title. This is the last matchup we've seen Shawn Michaels in. He hasn't appeared in NLW since. It was for the World Heavyweight Championship at Destruction, and it was taking place inside Hell in a Cell. Your match of the year, Triple H versus Shawn Michaels, Hell in a Cell. And now beating him up. Triple H is being set up on that table, and I do not like the looks of this. So much damage has already been inflicted, but Shawn Michaels is on the top of the ladder, and oh my god, splash through the table. Triple H comes crashing through the wood, and Michaels risking it all yet again. I don't know, but I think we've seen it all here tonight. Everything's been used. Do you see the way, the height he went from that ladder to the floor? Right down on the canvas, and Michaels wants to get the sweet chin music in and put it away. Michaels going for it again, but there's a low blow by Triple H. Perfectly legal, and oh my, has him held, and the pedigree from Triple H. But he kicks out. He does not give in. Any other man may have just laid there and accepted defeat, but not Shawn Michaels. Triple H is going to live it. He's throwing apparatus everywhere. Sweet chin music. Out of nowhere. Here's a cover. But no. Triple H kicks out. And what a matchup this has proven to be. It's a match of the year candidate, no doubt about it. He kicked out of the sweet chin music, for God's sake. What more do you have to do? Triple H is stirring. He's got that ladder, and I don't know what he's thinking of doing, but sends it. Oh my. That ladder broke the chain. They've escaped. They've escaped the cage. Now they're fighting in no man's land. The blood is dripping from the head of Michaels, and they're outside of this cage. My God, I've never seen anything like it, and now Triple H is ascending the cage. Oh my Lord, where are they going? He's on top of this Hell in a Cell. That ladder broke the door off its hinges. Triple H is looking frightened for his life. Michaels is following him, but now he's, oh my Lord, he's hanging with one arm. He's hanging from one arm, and Triple H, what's he thinking? Oh, for the love of God! Good God Almighty! Holy crap! He fell 20 feet! He's not moving. This sick, sadistic son of a bitch took it too far again. Shawn Michaels went through the table. He went crashing down from 20 feet in the air. The referee needs to stop this match. Or maybe not. Shawn Michaels is stirring, and how the hell is he stirring? He fell 23 through the announce table, and he's still getting up. There is no quit. There is no ounce of quitting Michaels, and he's back up. And now they're fighting precariously on the top of the Hell in a Cell. On the roof. And Michaels is not giving an inch. Michaels now has him held, and the DDT on the top of the cell. I can't believe Michaels got up, but now he's insinuating he wants to give Triple H a pole driver on the top of the cage. This comeback is miraculous. And now Michaels wants to put a final nail in the coffin. A pole driver perhaps. Oh no. Oh! Will somebody stop the damn match? He plummeted through the cell. The roof gave way. And Triple H is dropping down. Will somebody just stop this match up before it gets out of hand? I'm begging you, because Michaels cannot move and he's pedigreed. Here's a cover by Triple H. And of course it's over. Here is your winner, and still the World Heavyweight Champion, Triple H. They went for nearly half an hour, and it ended in the most horrendous of circumstances. Shawn Michaels fell 20 feet to the floor, and then again through the top of the Hell in a Cell. Triple H and Shawn Michaels are out of it. Shawn Michaels certainly is. We need to get some help. Get the EMTs. Triple H there proving why he is the cerebral assassin. Just a vicious assault of Shawn Michaels. Considering we haven't seen him since, you gotta take into account the Hell in a Cell and all the brutality he endured over the 20 minutes. It made for one hell of a match, and that is why you voted it for your moment and match of the year. Well, that's about all the time we have for this year's Slammy Awards. It was almost as chaotic as last year's, possibly even more. And who can tell what is going to happen in 2015? We know that there is going to be one guy who you voted in to enter NLW in the next month or so. and I'm sure they're going to shake things up even more, including the many debuts that are planned over the coming year. You're just going to have to wait and see what's in store for 2015, because I'm sure it's going to be one hell of a year. Considering that's about all the time we have, I would like to thank every single person that voted, because it's you, the fans, that make NLW possible. And as we end 2014 now, let us take a look back at the entire year that was 2014.
Against the grain, against